Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be taking a look at a YouTube rap video
Interesting.
and looking at the lyrical themes that are kind of hidden beneath the surface.
Okay.
You might be thinking a rap video, really,
Right.
but trust me on this one.
Okay.
This is OG Confessions by Chylo the Drifter and Demigod Mingo.
Okay.
And it's really a fascinating blend of braggadocio and sharp social critique.
So you're saying that it's more than just a surface level rap video.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
There's a lot more going on here than meets the eye.
I'm intrigued.
So we're going to be exploring themes of wealth, societal issues, personal relationships,
Okay.
all interwoven throughout these lyrics.
I'm excited to dive in.
Me too. All right, so let's start with the themes of wealth and hustle.
Right.
Pretty standard in rap,
Yeah.
right?
You hear that a lot.
We hear Chylo and Demigod boasting about their success with lines like 159 shots and a couple million.
But then they hit us with this line, BS up and stave up, which feels like a rejection of the glorification of the struggle.
Right, because sometimes in this genre, you see a lot of rappers talking about
Exactly.
coming from nothing and still sort of glorifying that.
Yeah.
Even after they've made it big.
They're saying, no, you got to work hard.
Okay.
You got to save your money. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's an interesting contradiction because they're still emphasizing that hustle.
Yeah.
They're still emphasizing that entrepreneurial spirit.
Right.
But it's almost like a blueprint for success on their own terms. It's not about just flaunting wealth. It's about working hard and smart.
Yeah.
And they even encourage listeners to make the profit copy the best information.
Right.
It's very practical.
Very practical, yeah.
A very practical approach to getting ahead.
And then there's this other line that really caught my attention.
Okay.
It says, life insurance is another way to buy money.
I haven't heard that one before. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's interesting because it shows a different mindset about financial security,
Yeah.
especially within the context of rap music. It suggests that there's maybe a distrust of traditional systems,
Right.
perhaps even a sense that they need to create their own safety net.
Yeah.
And I think that could also reflect a broader cultural trend, particularly among younger generations
Yeah.
who might be disillusioned with conventional institutions.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And that distrust of institutions becomes even more apparent when they shift into social commentary,
Okay.
which is another theme that we see in this video. They're clearly critical of the system,
Yeah.
calling out the corrupt school system,
Right.
and economic and cultural treason.
That's a powerful statement.
It is, and it's not just vague dissatisfaction either.
Uh-huh.
They get very specific.
Yeah.
They even mention politicians so trap,
Interesting.
which suggests a very deep-seated cynicism towards those in power.
Yeah. And you know what I think is interesting about that is that it's not just abstract ideas.
Yeah,
These criticisms that they're making,
right.
they seem to be rooted in their personal experience.
Absolutely.
You know, you hear lines like, they gonna ask me or project no for no charge.
Yeah.
And cops mismelling with foreigner-owned tea shops. Migo even feels safe at the bus stop.
What?
These paint a very real picture of their daily reality.
Yeah.
They're highlighting the ways in which these systems that they're criticizing directly impact their lives and their community.
It's like they're saying this is what we face every day, and it
Exactly.
makes their message all the more powerful.
Right.
It's not just complaining.
It's real.
It's a raw, unfiltered glimpse into the challenges that they navigate.
And I think that's what makes their critique of the system so much more potent.
Yeah.
It's coming from a place of lived reality, not just theoretical observation.
Absolutely. And you know what's interesting is that this distrust, it isn't limited to just institutions. Oh, really?
It also bleeds into their personal relationship.
Okay, I'm really interested to hear more about that.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Okay.
All right.
So it's interesting how even though they're calling out these like societal injustices,
Right.
they also kind of give us these glimpses into their more personal struggles
Yeah.
with like trust and loyalty.
Absolutely.
So we also hear them wrestle with
Yeah.
the complexities of love, expressing like this yearning for connection,
Yes.
but at the same time acknowledging the potential for betrayal.
Absolutely. And, you know, on the one hand, we have these like really romantic images,
Okay.
like wanting to give someone a wedding dress, enjoying oysters and bobbly on the moonlight.
Okay, so they're painting this, like,
Yeah.
beautiful...
Yeah, almost idyllic picture.
Right.
Yeah.
So these lines, I think, are really interesting because they reveal a softer side to them.
Yeah.
Like, there's this yearning for genuine intimacy.
Yes.
But then on the other hand...
Right. That's contrasted really sharply with their kind of cynicism towards others.
Yeah.
Evident in lines like niggas and hoes going, do you dirty.
Right.
And the enemy, they make him your friend.
Yeah. So what do you think about that duality?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like they're caught between this desire for love
Yeah.
and then this like fear of being hurt.
Right.
And I think that push and pull is something that a lot of us can relate to.
Absolutely.
Especially when navigating relationships in an environment that feels unpredictable or even hostile.
Exactly.
I think it reflects a learned cautiousness almost, like a sense of having been betrayed or let down in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that tension between yearning for connection and fearing betrayal just adds another layer of complexity to the music.
Absolutely.
I think it makes it really raw and honest and relatable, even if it's expressed through this lens of bravado.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of bravado, you know, one thing that really stands out to me in OG Confessions is their use of language. They weave in these incredibly vivid metaphors.
Oh, yeah.
Like, economic and cultural treason make a cow that you're not feeding.
Wow, that's a really interesting one.
Yeah.
What do you think that means?
I don't know. I was hoping you could tell me.
Well, you know, I think about,
you
know, these metaphors that they use, while they might seem abstract, they really offer this powerful commentary on their experiences in the world around them. So, for example, this cow that you're not feeding, this could symbolize like a neglected community. Or like a system that's starved of resources.
Yeah, it's like they're taking familiar concepts and just like twisting them and forcing us to look at them in a new way.
Absolutely.
And they even have this line finger TS to eat.
Now that one sounds a little strange.
Yeah, it's like, what does that even mean?
But even though it sounds a little strange on the surface,
Right.
I think it speaks to their resourcefulness. Like their ability to find sustenance and opportunity in these unexpected places.
Interesting.
Yeah. It challenges us to think about how we define success and where we find nourishment, not just literally, but also metaphorically.
It's a very powerful message,
Yes.
especially for those who feel like they've been marginalized or overlooked by society.
Absolutely.
You know, they're saying we can create our own opportunities even when the system fails us.
Exactly. And I think that's a really central theme to their message. Is this idea of empowerment. It's not just about pointing out the flaws. It's about encouraging people to take action. To change their circumstances.
Absolutely.
And they even specifically say, change the people you around, or change the people you around us.
Yeah, they're calling for change.
Yeah, like a call to create positive change within your own circles.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and it's a reminder that we have agency. Even when we're faced with these systemic barriers, they're saying, don't just accept the status quo. Challenge it, disrupt it, and try to build something better.
I love that.
And that call to action is even further emphasized. When they talk about revolutionizing the name B2C versus CV. Now, they're not just talking about business transactions here. They're talking about transforming the mundane into something meaningful, something creative.
It's like they're taking this language of commerce and applying it to personal growth. And saying that we can all be entrepreneurs of our own lives.
Absolutely.
Shaping our own destinies and defying limitations.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, it's really fascinating how they weave together all these seemingly like disparate themes, you know, from hustling for financial success to navigating like the complexities of relationships. And then all of that delivered through this like incredibly creative use of language and metaphor. It really makes you think about the power of music.
Absolutely.
As this vehicle for social commentary.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just about catchy beats or clever rhymes.
Wow.
It's about using their platform to really shine a light on issues that often go unnoticed or unheard.
Absolutely.
And when they talk about the corrupt school system, the way that law enforcement interacts with their community cops mis-soling with foreigner-owned shops. I mean, these aren't just isolated incidents. These speak to larger systemic problems.
Yeah, and they deliver it with this sense of like urgency and authenticity. They're not sugarcoating anything.
No.
They're presenting their reality.
Right.
Their struggles, their observations in a way that's raw and unfiltered.
And they're giving a voice to a community that is often marginalized and misrepresented.
Absolutely.
But it's not just about highlighting the problems. It's also about offering these glimpses of hope and resilience. Remember that line, Friday we supposed to PS ply, I'm up early catching catches of the birdie. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it speaks to their determination.
Yeah.
The refusal to be held back by their circumstances.
Absolutely.
It's a testament to their work ethic and their belief in themselves.
Yeah.
They're not waiting for handouts. They're going after what they want.
Yeah.
Catching catches despite the odds stacked against them.
I love that. Yeah. And that message of empowerment is so powerful.
It is.
Especially for young people who might be facing similar challenges.
Absolutely. It's like a reminder that we have the power to shape our own destinies.
Yes.
Even when the system seems rigged against us.
We can be the evolution of a taboo.
That's right.
Challenging norms.
Yeah.
Creating new pathways to success.
And that's what makes this deep dive so rewarding. It's not just about dissecting these lyrics.
Right.
It's about understanding the context, the message, the impact that this music can have on individuals and on society.
OG Confessions is a powerful example.
It is.
Of how art can be used to inspire, to challenge, to ignite conversations that can lead to real change.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Chylo the Drifter and Demigod Mingo, we encourage you to seek out the full video.
Yes.
Experience the song for yourself.
Listen closely.
Listen to the lyrics, to the stories being told, and to the messages hidden between the lines.
Absolutely. And most importantly, think critically about what you hear.
Yes.
Does this blend of braggadocio and social critique make their message more or less impactful?
Right.
What resonates with you?
Yeah.
What challenges your perspective?
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Absolutely.